Hey y'all. Well, here's another video for you. By the way, you like my new t-shirt? I am not ashamed of the gospel. Anyway, I did one last week on traditions. This one is gonna be on one of the 10 commandments. And I'm gonna preface this by saying I'm not bashing any denomination. I'm not bashing any version of the Bible. But let me read you this verse first, and I'll explain to you where I'm coming from, and hope that this I convey this correctly. Exodus 20, verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Short verse. Has a lot of meaning to it. You know, some years ago, let me back up. I'm going to preface it like that. I was raised Southern Baptist. My grandfather was a Baptist pastor. My uncle was a Baptist pastor. Now he retired due to some brain surgery, and he still preaches. Been a Baptist all my life. I've served in 3 Baptist churches. However, when somebody asks me what I am, and when I say, like, what do you mean? What are you? I tell them I am a born-again Christian, and I attend a Baptist church. See what I did there? A lot of people want to say I'm Baptist, I'm Methodist, I'm Lutheran, I'm Presbyterian, I'm Pentecostal, whatever the case may be. Which is no problem. It becomes a problem when you identify yourself as a denomination. When that takes precedence over, what you're supposed to be, which is a Christian. Now, Jesus was not Baptist. Jesus was not Pentecostal. He was none of the above. So I guess about maybe around 10 years ago, I quit identifying myself as a Baptist because I got really convicted about that one time. Why am I telling people I'm Baptist? What does Baptist have to do with anything getting to heaven? What does any other denomination? Denomination has no bearing on your walk with Christ. It has no bearing on you getting saved. It has no bearing on whether you go to heaven or hell. It's just a title to a church house. Now, why do I attend Baptist churches? Because they, as far as my studies go and what I believe, they're more closely aligned with the doctrines the Bible teaches. If I saw a church that had no name on it, just say, for instance, Christian church, as long as they preached the Bible, all of the Bible, from front to cover, and didn't take verses out of context, just to, like a lot of people, like a lot of churches do, they use 1 or 2 verses just to make their point when they're completely taken out of context. I would absolutely attend that church, just Christian church. Same thing with versions of the Bible. Now, my personal go-to choice of Bibles to read is the King James Version. I believe it is the closest. But again, it is a version. Now, I have 2 ESVs. I have over there, I have a New King James. I bought the New King James because it was a duck from the old Duck Dynasty show, the Duck Commander. Main reason I bought it is because it's got notes and stuff from Phil and his son Alan. Life experiences and their take on stuff like that. But that's the reason I bought it. There are things I disagree with in some versions of the Bible, but that's okay. King James is just a version. So anytime you're putting, you have to be King James, you have to be NIV, you have to do whatever version, or I have to be Baptist, I have to be Presbyterian, whatever denomination, that has become your God. That is breaking the first 10 commandments. Never should happen. Why do we have so many denominations, versions of the Bible? Simple, because people worship themselves, worship their own beliefs more than they do what the Bible actually says. So with that being said, don't base anything off of your denomination or the version of the Bible you read. Study your Bible like it says in Hebrews. Study that shows thyself approved, rightly dividing the word of truth. Know your Bible. Study it in its context. I've been doing it for several years. Well, I became a youth pastor in 2012, thereabouts. And every time I learn something new in the Bible, which is every time I read it, when I actually study it, break it down, Hebrew and Greek, I learn one thing. The more I study, the more I learn that I don't know half of what I should. I haven't even scratched the surface of my knowledge of the Bible. It's so many verses, so many deep, rich theology there so that's what you're supposed to do. Not a denomination. It's not a version of the Bible. Not whether you wear a suit, tie, blue jeans, or blue or t-shirts. Fall in love with Jesus. Fall in love with his teachings. And don't worry about versions. Don't worry about denominations. Because what's that going to do? It's going to cause division. A Baptist will get into a discussion with, say, a Pentecostal. It's going to cause one big argument. It's not what that's for. There's going to be Pentecostals in heaven. There's going to be Baptists. There's going to be Methodists, Lutheran, Presbyterian, whatever. So we're all going to love each other in heaven. Might as well start practicing now. So with that being said, love y'all. And y'all reach out to me with video suggestions and questions or whatever. That's what I'm here for. Love y'all.